Carles Puigdemont made it to Denmark from Belgium today, and the Spanish Supreme Court rejected reactivating a European arrest warrant held against him. Hello and welcome to Catalan News. 3 months after arriving in Brussels, Carles Puigdemont travelled today beyond the Belgian borders for the first time. He went to Copenhagen for a debate, despite his lawyers saying it was a risky move. Right after he landed in Denmark, the Spanish prosecutor urged the Supreme Court to reissue the European arrest warrant against him, yet the judge did not accept it. So Puigdemont is still free to travel anywhere in the EU. All this just in the run-up of the debate to pick a Catalan president. Puigdemont is a nominated candidate, we also learned today. Here at Catalan News, we'll get you the latest on this crucial political moment, and we'll also tell you about 2 shows of this weekend closely linked to the Catalan culture. The University of Copenhagen hosted a debate today on the Catalan political situation. It included one of its many protagonists, Carles Puigdemont, who stood up for dialogue and did not rule out a Spanish-wide referendum on Catalan independence. He could speak without fearing being arrested in the debate that started at 2 p.m, but the day was very long, as the Spanish prosecutor tried unsuccessfully to force the Danish authorities to arrest him. It all started very early.
It was 8:30 in the morning when Carles Puigdemont landed in Denmark. Expectation was high. It was the first time that the Catalan president had left Brussels since he arrived in the country in October, after being dismissed by the Spanish government following a declaration of independence. The move was risky. Puigdemont is now free to stay in Belgium after a Spanish judge withdrew an international arrest warrant due to discrepancies between Belgian and Spanish law. But the whole extradition process could start again should he move to a different country. Indeed, the Spanish prosecutor asked for the arrest order to be reactivated. The Supreme Court, though, dismissed the demand. The reason they gave was that Puigdemont was actively seeking to be arrested, as this could provide him with stronger legal arguments for being sworn in as president at a distance. Today's events seem to confirm what a Spanish minister said earlier in the day.
El señor Puigdemont, como ustedes saben, está sujeto a un procedimiento en España. Fuera de ella, de momento, sus movimientos son libres dentro de la Unión Europea. Pero ya veremos, ¿no?
In Denmark, Puigdemont took part in a debate at the University of Copenhagen to discuss the political situation in Catalonia. This was his answer after being asked about his willingness to compromise.
But what kind of compromise is possible if the other part of the problem is continuous denying the reality that in fact there is more than 2 million people that in Catalonia voted for independence.
The Catalan leader also said that the political situation in Catalonia is as crucial for the future of the European Union as Brexit. And after today, we know that Puigdemont will be free to spread his message to other EU countries as well.
Puigdemont's move comes only a few days before the debate to be held in the Parliament to pick a new Catalan president. He is hoping to be sworn in at a distance, but this won't be easy. Yet the majority of lawmakers in the chamber have decided that he should be the candidate.
Carles Puigdemont will be the only candidate in the debate to pick a Catalan president in the Parliament, to be held no later than January 31st. The Chamber's president, Roger Torrent, officially nominated him today after speaking to representatives of the 7 parties in the hemicycle. Yet, with Puigdemont abroad, Torrent didn't disclose how the debate would unfold. The deposed Catalan president's candidacy does not rule out him returning to take part in the session in person. This would leave Madrid with fewer arguments to veto him being appointed, but at the same time, Puigdemont would risk being arrested and jailed. While there is no European arrest warrant hanging over his head, the arrest warrant within the Spanish borders is still in force. Either way, for his candidacy, Together for Catalonia, blocking Puigdemont being sworn in as president would be against the will of the citizens.
Hi va haver un resultat electoral, hi va haver o hi ha d'haver l'aplicació d'aquest resultat electoral. Em sembla que qualsevol cosa que es mogui d'aquesta lògica seria faltar al respecte als ciutadans d'aquest país.
Yet, not all parties in the political spectrum agree that having a president living abroad could work out. This is the case for Catalonia in common, between the pro-independence and the unionist blocs.
Ara mateix la prioritat és acabar amb l'aplicació de l'article 155 que suspèn el nostre autogovern, i això, malauradament, no es pot fer ni des de Dinamarca ni des de Brussel·les.
The socialists, supporting unionism, announced that they might challenge Torrent's decisions to nominate Puigdemont.
Els lletrats del Parlament s'han manifestat de manera unànim de que no es pot produir una teleinvestidura.
Roger Torrent did not announce the date of the debate, but asked for a meeting with Mariano Rajoy to open a dialogue, and also to tackle the unprecedented situation of having 8 MPs either in prison or in exile. A Spanish cabinet source has already dismissed Torrent's requests for a meeting.
La Model prison in Barcelona opens its doors to the public yesterday after closing down last year. This jail is a symbol of repression during the Franco regime, and as such, it was the place of a symbolic gathering today. The network of cities against Francoist impunity met today for the second time. It is a group of municipalities committed to bringing about justice for the victims of the Franco regime. After the meeting, a Barcelona deputy mayor announced that the local government will file a lawsuit against those people responsible for abuses against the homosexual community in the final days of the dictatorship. He also says that prosecuting these incidents should be the work of the Spanish state administration.
Porque es verdad que los torturados, los asesinados, los desaparecidos son víctimas del régimen franquista, pero es el actual régimen quien los está encubriendo de una forma cómplice. Por tanto, hay un traspaso de responsabilidades que va del pasado hacia el presente.
In other news, Oxfam Intermont revealed today that the wealth inequality between the richest and the poorest is still high. It's a worldwide tendency, and Catalonia is not an exception. The report was presented at a press conference held in Barcelona, highlighting how the richest 1% in the country control over a quarter of the wealth. This is a figure for Spain as a whole, but Catalonia shares the same tendency. Those earning higher salaries have also benefited more from the recent economic recovery than those who don't, following a trend seen throughout the world. On an international level, the figure is even more extreme. The richest 1% receive 82% of the overall generated global wealth. The wage gap continues to widen, with women and young people being affected most.
Ya no nos sirve hablar de que el país creció un 3,1, un 3,2, un 2,9. De hecho, casi que da igual si ese indicador automáticamente no viene seguido de cómo se distribuyó ese crecimiento entre la población.
Let's talk about culture now. The music festival Barna Sans kicked off its 2018 edition in an Italian town, but closely related to Catalonia. Also, the 2018 capital of Catalan culture city held the event this weekend. Every year, a different town hosts a set of performances, exhibits, gastronomy, and as much cultural proposals as possible. Earlier this month, we looked at Reus, last year's cultural metropolis. 2018 now welcomes a new culture capital. Let's go to the town of Manresa.
To see what Catalan culture has to offer this year, Manresa is a good place to start. To the west of Barcelona, it already kicked off its stint as the Catalan culture capital this weekend. And what a show it was! Locals followed a parade with fireworks, music and drums all the way to the local theatre. Much of the event revolved around bridges, which are already a symbol of the town. Manresa will also host permanent installations in reference to these structures, decorated by various artists. Bridges also acted as representations of cultural goals, a connection between disciplines, generations and diversity. In fact, according to officials, the culture that Manresa offers belongs to everybody.
A l'accés de la cultura no hi ha d'haver-hi ciutadans de primera i ciutadans de segona. Tampoc hi ha de ser-hi en altres àmbits de la vida, però en aquest cas, com que parlem de cultura, no ha de ser així.
The town will be filled with music, dance, theatre, tradition, gastronomy, and even circus for the year to come. More than 130 proposals. Not only does Catalan culture get promoted outside of Barcelona, you can even see it outside the country. On Italian island of Sardinia, in the town of Alguero, locals speak a dialect of Catalan. It's here that the Barna Sans Festival kicked off its 23rd edition, backed by the Plataforma per la Llengua NGO to promote the Catalan language. The performance consists of traditional songs in Alguerese, sung by children and musicians. The show premiered across the sea, but will come to Catalonia in Hospitalet de Llobregat on March 23rd.
This January, we've seen quite a few cultural events throughout the country, some of them related to the animals' patrons' day, Sant Antoni. But these events vary depending on the town, and in the village of Falset in southern Catalonia, they reference as far back as Napoleonic times. During the Peninsular War, or Guerra del Francès in Catalan, local villagers wore white shirts to distinguish themselves from the enemy. To this day, they commemorate the victory in a horse parade with traditional dress, l'encamisada. We hope you like it, and we'll see you tomorrow.